Let's get into this one right here. Cry me a river, cry me a river, cry me a river. What the hell's going on out here, folks? So, let's talk about this. Gilbert Arenas gets arrested for running, basically, a casino in his mansion. One of the Morris twins gets arrested. One of the Morris twins gets arrested for obviously taking money from Vegas. If I'm not mistaken, 2 different hotels he took money from. I think one he took 100 and something thousand. Another hotel he took another 100 and something thousand, equaling something like close to, what was it, like 270 something? If I'm not mistaken, it might have been less. But I thought they said 270 something dollars, right? As a front, so he can gamble money away. Now, this is what I'm going to say right here. And of course, we're going to talk about Shannon ain't looking too sharp. We're going to talk about Shannon who ain't looking too sharp, folks. And I got to tell you about these 2 cases. Gambling. And I told you guys the other day, something was real fishy about, the way LeBron James went about his business and losing, a lot of his career in the NBA media, especially ESPN, always swaying you towards, LeBron James always winning. But at the end of the day, he lost a lot in the NBA Finals, right? And before that, he lost a lot. Before he built his super teams, he lost a lot too. And, well, I guess we can say too in LA, finals or not, that guy lost a lot. And the media was always there trying to convince you it was always LeBron James that was going to win, even though he was never even made it to the finals a lot of times in LA. So I'm going to just leave that there, folks. It's real shaky right there. And we'll probably never get nothing out of that, or never even prove nothing out of that. And you got to think too, a lot of times his injuries, not his injuries per se, but his teammates would always get hurt. You ever seen that? His teammates always getting hurt in the NBA Finals. Just kind of weird. I don't know, folks. Just weird. Not that his teammates get hurt, but it just seems to happen over and over and over again. And like I said, it was always the media that was trying to convince us that LeBron James was either going to win the finals or make it to the finals, where he a lot of times got blew the hell out or didn't even make it to the finals. Wow. So, yeah, it's just funny. These guys are wrapped up in this whole gambling thing. And, they don't work for the NBA per se. Who is this? One of the Morris twins, and it's full Gilbert Arenas. But I'm sure they did a lot of gambling on the NBA. Regardless of what kind of, gambling they had going on, supposedly at Gilbert Arenas' house, gambling is gambling. They don't just gamble one particular way and say, oh, we just was playing poker. No, these dudes gamble across the board. They gamble on games. They play poker. Dude probably got slot machines in his house, all kind of trash. And it's, like I always say, man, it's just weird because these guys are supposed to make all this money, and it just keeps coming back. Call me a fool. Everybody can try to keep it on the hush on their channels and not talk about it, but all the evidence points to their actions. It points to these NBA players, their actions when they retire. That's what it points to, folks. Hell, you even got some guys got caught gambling on the damn league that play in the league, right? So, and then the podcasting thing, it's just wow. It's just too much for me. I'm like, well, you make tens of millions of dollars and you have to podcast and make money? Wow, that's crazy. And one of these Morris twins is one of the guys that, retired and had to run to the ESPN to go get a job. Both of them did, really. But like I always tell you guys, who the hell wants to be around some sweaty men after you retire? And it's not like, again, folks, I know they only retire from like 15-year careers or something like that, and they might retire in their 30s, 40s, whatever like that. But it's, you don't put your whole life into this thing. Some of these guys have been playing since they were, little kids, or middle school, into high school, college. Now you're in the pros. That's a long time to be playing a sport, and the wear and tear, all the grind of being a basketball player, and then you supposedly made tens of millions of dollars in your career, and then the day comes when you retire and you done made these guys supposedly made all this money, folks. It's just mind blowing when you see the some of what these guys supposedly made in their career, just like role players. You're just like scratching your head, like, what? How in the hell did these guys make this kind of money? They're just like role players. It would be something if these guys, say one of the Morris twin that we're talking about, he made $100 million, $98 million in his career. Just mind blowing. Off of being a damn role player. If the guy made $20 million in a career, that would be great for being a role player. $100 million? And a lot of it just sitting around doing nothing really. Giving you 4 points a game. Wow. 6 points? Even 8 points? Like what? It's just mind blowing. A guy can score 8 points and still make 10, 20 million in a year. That's crazy. At any rate, yeah, but now it's time to retire. And then these guys have to fight for a job on ESPN or whatever. Now they got a podcast. They got to do it. Like, what? You can't go enjoy your life with your tens of millions of dollars? You want to be around sweaty ass men again? And talk about sweaty ass men again? You can't be with your wife, your children. It's like hitting the lottery, but going back to work for these guys. I always said, if I hit the lottery, which I don't even play, because you should know it's a scam by now. There's no way all these people can play a ticket, millions, tens of millions, in one person hit, or nobody hit sometimes. There's no way. So we won't even get into that, but I always say if I did hit the lottery, because most people be like, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy nothing. You won't see me for at least 2 years. I'm not buying nothing. I'm not buying a car. I'm not buying a house. I'm going on vacation for 2 years to enjoy myself, and you'll never see me for 2 years. I'm not about to go buy this and buy that and have to deal with all these bills, deal with this, deal with that. Yes, maybe later, but I'll be gone for 2 years. You won't see me. I don't care about buying nothing. Maybe I might buy some jewelry and wear that around, maybe. Something like that. But I'm not about to go around doing a whole bunch of paperwork. I'm about to go enjoy myself. But not these guys. Like I said, they have to go back to work like you and me and have to get a job like you and me when they retire with their tens of millions. And at first, we had to go with the lame stuff. Oh, man, these guys ran out of money, man. They didn't know how to spend their money, man. And, that only works. It only goes so far. Where then you have to accept these guys really never made this kind of money, folks. It's just, people don't want to believe it because it will not only make the NBA look like a damn Ponzi scheme in a place where a company that's lying about, how much these guys really make, but the fact that they're charging their fans all this money, but the players aren't making all this money. Now, am I saying, again, I always got to come back, am I saying these guys don't make millions? I'm not trying to say that. Yes, they make millions, but the actual money that they're trying to, I don't believe they make these actual contracts. Say if they say, oh, this guy makes 60 million a year, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. This guy just got to $300 million contract for 2, 3, 4 years. Like, where do you get the money from though? Nobody's watching this trash. It's averaging the lowest ratings of all time. This thing is barely hanging on, but you're giving these guys record-breaking contracts. So my theory is that they're just saying this stuff to keep the NBA at its value, because we are seeing all these teams being sold off because they can see the writing on the wall. Nobody's going to be watching this trash in the future because nobody's watching this trash now. And it's going to be like MLB and hockey. And, you know, I don't think they're ever going to stop lying about the contracts. It's just that people's going to have to come to the conclusion that it's all an illusion and these contracts are entertainment purposes. They have no money. ESPN has no money to you know, pay anybody good anymore because they don't have the money. They don't have the money. So they've been let go all these analysts for years. For years, folks. You know, they had to sit there and lie and, you know, tell you that Max and Stephen A. Smith got in a fight. Who is this? Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe got in a fight. Is it just a coincidence? Both of these characters kind of like got in a fight. They weren't in the same manner, but they basically didn't want to work with each other and got in a fight because the people are dumb. It's entertainment, folks. They didn't want to tell you that they can't afford to pay these guys no more. It's a business. They're not going to tell you this stuff. So they're going to, you know, get the entertainment value out of it by putting on a fake fight. That's all it was. A fake fight. A fake fight. Just like the Shannon Sharpe thing now. Oh my God. I just can't even believe how dumb we are. It's just like, this is 2025 and the people seem to be dumber than ever before. And now this Shannon Sharpe thing, the whole thing was fake anyways. They couldn't pay this guy. They First Take is not getting the ratings like that. They try to come out at first and tell you First Take was getting all these ratings and people was watching it and all this stuff. They're not getting these ratings. Stephen A. Smith's new contract probably ain't even legit. They're probably, again, entertainment value to get you to watch it. Nobody's watching First Take, folks. Stephen A. Smith done lost his cachet and credibility a long time ago. A long time ago. Ain't nobody feeling this guy's lies and all this stuff. And this guy put LeBron James at number 2. All this stuff with this guy over the years, where he done lost his credibility, is out the door. Nevertheless, they can't afford to pay Shannon Sharpe. So let's make up this whole for entertainment value, because they'll get something out of it. They'll get pub, they'll get views, and, you know, not ESPN in particular, but, you know, shows related to ESPN, all this stuff, man. It's just, can we just like grow up? Can we just stop getting duped in life? And like, we were supposed to be in this technology age. We were supposed to be smarter than ever in the future, and it seems like we're dumber than ever. Okay, Shannon Sharpe don't like women. There's nothing masculine about this guy. There's so they have to put on this facade that he was doing all this stuff with this girl, and then he was this big ogre who said, I'm gonna do what I want and you're gonna give me what I want, or this and that, these consequences and all this stuff. This is what they do, folks. They try to convince you that these fruit bag dudes, these fruitcake dudes that wear purses, what's this dude carrying around a Pomeranian? Like, what tough dude with big old muscles is carrying around a Pomeranian dog? Are you serious? I talked about this before. This is the new society that we live in, where men are just, you know, all this feminine energy is coming off these men, but they're supposed to be either tough guys or they're supposed to be heterosexual men. This is crazy, folks. This is the new society that you live in. Heterosexual men that act gay. This is how you're supposed to carry yourself as a heterosexual man now. I don't even know what the word is. It's creepy. It's creepy. Because you can't even imagine that with me when I was growing up. But yeah, this is it, folks. They try to convince you that this dude is heterosexual. But he's not. But he's not. It was good too, right? Because, you know, all the feminine energy he was putting off, you know, in videos and him walking through airports, you know, dressed the way he was and the way he was standing, the way he was acting. Why do you think these guys can gossip real good? They gossip like women. You know what I'm saying? They gossip like women. Look at Chad Ochocinco. Oh boy. Oh boy. Could you imagine when the cameras is off and you had Shannon Sharpe, Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, and you had, what's this guy's name? Cat Williams in one room. You know how sassy that would be. You know how sassy that would go down, folks. Oh my goodness. They will be twisting and twirling and girl this and girl that. Oh my goodness. that would be a sassy fest right there, boy. That would be real sassy. I just don't know what to say to heterosexual men no more, because, you know, in my era, you just couldn't even step like this. You couldn't even carry yourself like this and it be accepted as anything close to being heterosexual, right? Like, you hear these rappers sing for so long now, like, you just want to punch this dude in the face. Like, why are you singing to me, dude? And it ain't like we listen to Bone Thugs Harmony and stuff like that, where dudes really had harmony and, you know, they sound like grown men on the record. They sound scary. You listen to Lil Baby and these dudes singing, you like, dude, what is you talking about? What you said you going, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know who these dudes were. You say if you never even knew who this era was in the 2020s, these rappers that be singing, right? And you never seen them, but you heard them on the radio and you like, these are little Bow Wow sounding like little dudes, right? And they telling you what they gonna do to you, how they popping guns and doing this, and you like, damn, well, these dudes gotta be some tough guys, right? So when you click on their picture, they look like little damn kids. And they dress like little kids, and you like, this dude said he was gonna do what to me? That's how it is with these 2020 rappers. Like, really? If you had, back in my day, the only dudes that was singing were Bone Thugs and Harmony. And it sounded like, damn, these dudes really putting dudes under the ground and dudes going to jail. That's how it was back then. When Bone Thugs Harmony came out, dudes was actually getting, they weren't singing from those suburbs. Dudes weren't getting killed and selling dope and doing all this stuff from those suburbs. This wasn't no suburbial stuff. This was straight on the streets. So when you saw Bone Thugs and Harmony, you didn't see no dudes that looked like 12 and 13 and 14-year-old dudes. Yes, they was young, but they didn't look like little kids. And they was giving it to you like grown men. They sound like grown men. And it was like, oh, that's their style. We never heard this. We never heard dudes like sing rapping. But the fact is, they was doing it with harmony. And that was their style. So it wasn't like, man, somebody heard that and said, man, I'm gonna start doing it. No, you couldn't do that back in the day. If you ripped off somebody else's style, that was it, folks. Actually, you couldn't even go to a record company and they'd be like, okay, yeah, we want to do Bone Thugs and Harmony style. Okay, they'll laugh at you. They wouldn't even put you out. They would take this tape back. We ain't putting this out. Because what happened, Bone Thugs and Harmony will come and clap at you. And then the whole industry will come clap at you. And the people on the streets will laugh at you. You couldn't sound like nobody else back in the day. You couldn't. LL couldn't sound like Kumo D. Nas couldn't sound like Biggie. Biggie couldn't sound like Tupac. Ice Cube couldn't sound like Dr. Dre. Snoop Dogg couldn't sound like, whatever. Everybody sounded the same. I mean, everybody couldn't sound the same. But besides that, where's the harmony in the music? There's no more harmony in the music. It's crazy. That's why they call it Bone Thugs and Harmony. Because the harmony that they spit out with their voice in the music, it was crazy. These dudes is rap singing with no harmony. Nevertheless, so again, Gilbert Arenas, where is your money? Where is your, I don't know how much this guy made in his career, but I looked it up the other day. It said his net worth is worth 50 million. And I don't know what to say about that. Anybody can tell anybody anything in these magazines, these online things, whatever, and they'll put it down. Their agent will be like, yeah, this dude's worth this. So the paper, the magazine will put it down, or the people who write articles on the internet will just say, yeah, he worth 50 million. We believe it. Just how it is, folks. He might be, I don't know. And he might not be, I don't know. But why would you need to do something like that? And what this tells us is, remember how the entertainment industry works, because Gilbert Arenas, of course, he's part of the entertainment industry. When he popped up and he started saying all this stuff, and him confirming he's part of the entertainment industry, going on ESPN and all this stuff. And how it works is, stuff just don't happen. They're always trying to give us a message, right? A lot of times the sheep, it's hard to get through to their heads. So a lot of times for the people who are awake, they're able to see the message, about what the entertainment industry is really trying to sell us. And then you have the people who, I don't know the word to say without really putting it out there. Let's just say they're in cahoots. They're kind of brothers with the entertainment industry. And when they hear these type of things, they know the real message, right? So in this case, I'm gonna tell you the real message as a person that's awake. I'm not part of I'm not one of the brothers that's in the entertainment industry, right? But I'm one of the people that's awake. So, same thing I was trying to tell you about the Shannon Sharpe thing. They're trying to send a message out there to the people who are in the entertainment industry, and they know what time it is with Shannon Sharpe. They know what time it is with a lot of this stuff that they're trying to send out here, but the sheep don't understand. Because a lot of times also too is, for the sheep, the message that they're getting is what the TV is telling them. They can't break it down because they love entertainment. They love entertainment. They'll say, oh, you heard what happened to such and such? And then you're waiting for them, the people who is awake, right? You're just waiting for them to, break it down. And what they're going to break down is the same message that they pretty much got from, the TV, social media, that they received from the entertainment industry. They don't, these are people you call sheep because they don't understand what they're giving to them. They could be on this earth 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, and they still don't understand, folks. These are people who you call sheep. So in this instance right here, to a person who is awake, I'm gonna just leave it alone. But there's a lot of people out there who know they're not ever going to tell you because they want to be rewarded, especially on YouTube and social media, getting the entertainment industries, what I call it a movie, because that's all they bring you, some type of little movie, but getting their message out here and selling it to you without really telling you what's going on, because they want you to continue to be sheep so they can make money and they can be rewarded. But in this instance right here, with the whole with the whole Gilbert Arenas thing and him gambling in his house and doing all this stuff, it's not so much that he did it and they came for him, because of course he's going to get out. They never locked their puppets up, so it's just like a humiliation ritual. Remember, because he really wasn't in the limelight and he just popped out a few years ago. And, he was able to do what he's been doing for a minute because of them. Because they put him out there like that. The entertainment industry. But what they're really trying to tell you is he's not the only one who's doing it. But you won't get that message. What the sheep will do, either they'll make fun of him. That's what he gets. Or two, leave him alone. He didn't really do nothing wrong. Or whichever way the sheep are going to be told to go with him. But the real message is about the entertainment industry. What they're trying to throw in your face is that a lot of these guys are doing it. A lot of them are doing it. A lot of these NBA players are doing this in their houses. It's just not Gilbert Arenas. It's a big thing that's going on. And gambling is basically out of control. You can see it with the Morris twin. And I gotta tell you guys, if maybe some of you guys gamble, maybe some of you guys don't, but we all know how awful this thing is, folks. It's a horrible sickness. I think it's worse than alcohol. I think it's worse than drugs. It's worse than any bad habit to me. Because people are literally, and I see it every day, giving their money away and they get nothing out of it. Like nothing physical. They get nothing physical out of it. Say if you was an alcoholic, damn, at least you get drunk. You was a drug addict, at least you know what I'm saying, you getting high. Or you was some people are shoe addicts, at least you got a pair of shoes. Or whatever type of addict you are, at least you got something physically out of it, a feeling, a possession. This gambling stuff is so bad, and I see it like every single day with people, and it's been in my family. The sickness is so bad, and they don't understand that the house always wins. And you will see these people, they done throw away thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands in their life, and they're trying to get that back. And the sickness is, they will lose, I don't know, $1,000 and then win 50 and think they're back on track. Lose another 1,000, win 200, think they're back on track. Lose at 3,000 now, and they might win $1,000 and think they're back on track. And it just keeps going and going and going. And for some reason, the sickness is so bad, they don't understand, like, you never won, really. You never won because you never won that money back that you lost. All those days, all those years, you never won that money back that you lost. Even if they do win all that money back they lost, they're about to go spend it. Now, let's say if they won $100,000. Oh yeah, you're really a high roller now. They want to win millions, so they will start playing $100 hands, $1,000 hands. Hell, we heard about the stories of Michael Jordan, where Vegas was sweeping up on this dude, was cleaning up on Michael Jordan. Because guess what? He was no different than anybody else, folks. But like I said, to me, it's the worst bad habit you can have. It ruins people's lives. They can't pay their bills. It ruins people's relationships. We done seen that. And to me, the only reason why it's legal now, because the politicians, the sports leagues were able to lobby the politicians to make this legal. Say the word gambling and associated with sports 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, and people would look at you crazy. That's something you would never associate with sports. And like I said in the past, since gambling has been legal in sports, oh man, the NBA and the NFL, wow, have been very suspect. It's been right in your face, folks. It's been right in your face. See, a lot of stuff before gambling was legal in sports, it was just a lot of assuming. Oh man, but now they don't even try to hide it. It's like all in your face now. But yeah, it's a sickening habit, folks. And the crazy part, like I said, is these people really don't even win nothing. I have a father that has been gambling for like 40 years. been playing the lottery. That's one of the games he's been playing. You know, like he plays that thing every week religiously. The pick 3, the pick 5, the state lottery, the Mega Millions. Guess how much he won? Nothing. Guess when these people do win? When they don't play their numbers that day. Is it just a coincidence? You always say, God dang! What happened? Man, I didn't play my numbers, man. I play them numbers all the time. That's when they win. When they don't play the numbers, or they didn't even play that week. It's a sickness, folks. All that money that he done spent away. Oh, it's in the sports gambling. Remember, people were sports gambling before it was even legal. All that money, hundreds of thousands probably, that you done threw away. You could have spent it on something else, like your family or something like that. You know, your retirement. See, I could never gamble because I'm a sore loser. If I go to the casino, I might go to the casino once a year, man. Like, we got a big casino where I live at. Or maybe once every 2 years or something like that. Maybe do a scratch off or something like that once every year. I'm a sore loser, man. I'm a sore loser. When I lose, I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I can't do it no more, man. I'm a sore loser. So I want to quit after that. I'm like, no, I'm done. I can't do it. I don't see how these dudes can literally give away their money every day. I didn't even, like, when I'm gambling, that ain't even a thought with me, right? Just giving away my money every day like that and losing. I just get mad. So I'm a sore loser, so I'm like, oh, F this. Who cares? That's my temperament. But to see these guys literally give them, just literally, here, take my money. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I just don't know how you guys who gamble like that every day, tell me about it. How do you feel like just handing away your money to somebody and getting nothing in return? Wow, that has to be a sickness. It's like you see these dudes, they always in jail. Or these people, I got people in my family always in jail. Like, how do you like this? I'm not talking about a person who went to jail like one time or something. No, there's actually people who go to jail all the damn time. How do you like this? I guess you gotta have like something mentally wrong with you. Yeah, man. So y'all don't cry too much for Shannon Sharpe, man. He's supposed to have like millions in. Who cares? Who cares about this guy? I don't care about him. And he's a feminine punk. And I've never had no problem with people's sexuality. Never. It's the fact that these people lie about who they are. That's the problem. That's the thing that I can't get with. Because what it does is it feminizes men. This is how men are supposed to carry themselves. And these dudes who act like they like women, act like they like females, like Stephen A. Smith, these are the dudes. You got to remember why most of these dudes are on TV, because they're feminine. They talk like women. They can gossip like women. Real men can't sit up there and gossip like that, like women. You already know gay men, they will try to out-woman a woman. And when they do it, it looks uncomfortable because there's nothing natural about it. So they're trying to act like a female, and they try to outdo what a female is naturally. And that's how these dudes is, like Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, and a lot of these dudes on TV. They're not heterosexual, but they got them on TV because they can gossip like a female, because that's what they feel every single day. They're feminine. They're not heterosexual men. So we'll see what happens, man. This is just some more stuff. You know, it seemed to be like real quiet about the NBA before this Luka thing came out. Everything was like quiet about the NBA. So you got to get the NBA that they do bring you a lot of soap opera drama off the court, because on court, oh my God, it's painful to watch. It's really painful to watch. It's like you're watching like an AAU scrimmage or something like that. It's really hard to watch when you watch the NBA. When you watch the NBA's product, it's horrible. But they do give you a good off-court drama, right? And now one of their puppets, Gilbert Arenas, he had to take a fall. One of the Morris puppets had to take a fall. And now they're talking about, Shannon Sharpe getting fired. This is going to cost them. Oh, why you do a man like that? A black man? They don't have no money to pay this guy, okay? The guy was fired a long time ago. They just try to make it seem like, oh, no, we couldn't fire him when he was going through all this stuff, or it's going to look bad. No. He was fired. It was over for this guy. And they had the money to pay him. So they come up with some big scandal for entertainment. I know it breaks people's heart, man. All this stuff ain't real. It really does. It really breaks people's heart that, the world is a stage. It breaks people. You know why it breaks people's heart? Because you got all these people on TV and they're telling you they're your friend. They're talking to you like, it's not entertainment. And, they're on TV, right? So they have to be right. They could never lie to you. Okay. Shannon Sharpe, go retire, man. Supposed to have all this money. Entertainment is over, folks. The entertainment industry is going down the drain. Sports is going down the drain. You see a lot of these celebrities are dying. And what's so crazy about it, celebrities always die, of course, but they're not replacing them. They're not replacing Hollywood celebrities with other Hollywood great celebrities. They're not coming out with great movies and sitcoms, and the music is awful. If you want to even call it music, sound like a whole bunch of children broke into the studio and start playing with the equipment. Right? Since the 210s. The 210s was an embarrassment to me after what the 2020s left them. The 2020s, to me, the diversity was so great. It was almost like the 80s. Was it as good as the 80s? No, but I'm talking about the diversity in the 2000s was great. And what the 210s, the show they put on was lackluster. It was embarrassing. Dudes start sing, rapping, and mumbling, and even the singers, it was subpar. Adele became your new soul singer. Bruno Mars became your new R&B singer, and Drake became your new rapper. So basically, all foreign people took over black music, who aren't even black in my opinion, ain't black American, and Adele ain't even black, period. So you already knew where black music was going when it wasn't even, black American artists. See you later. And everything Drake started doing, all the other rappers start doing. Oh, we gotta sing like Drake or we ain't gonna make no money. Never liked Drake. I think he was, I always thought he was a sissy, whatever like that. But that was that man's style. Like, okay, he's rapping, he's singing like a little sissy, whatever. That's his style, let him do it. Nope, all the rappers said we gotta fall behind Drake or we ain't gonna make no money. And that's what, I was laughing at the whole Kendrick Lamar beef with Drake. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? This dude ran a whole damn decade in one of the highest selling rappers of all time. And now you want to come out and say he's not like us? No. Drake is responsible for changing hip hop. Nobody ran after you and bit your style. It was Drake. You try to take Drake down, it's already over. Drake is like it's like trying to take a legend down in hip hop who, it's over. So I was laughing again because what Kendrick Lamar is saying was something that needed to be said from the beginning. But these dudes literally let this dude run the hip hop scene for over a decade from Canada, singing songs and rapping songs, rapping songs. This should have been nipped in the bud a long time ago. I was like, what are we doing? But again, this was this man's style. Okay, why did everybody run behind him and start doing the same? And then they sound like idiots because they try to sound like tough guys while doing it. Well, we can't sound like Drake doing it. Exactly. So we're going to, sing rap, talk about we busting guns and doing all this stuff from the hood and trapping and doing all this stuff while singing, rapping and mumbling. So you basically copied his style, but you're trying to sound gangster doing it. And you really don't. You really don't. Because back in the day, if dudes ran up to you serenading you, you would pop them in the mouth. You would be laughed at for running up to me singing, rapping, trying to act tough. Like I said, the only sing rapping we knew was Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's it. That's it. And like I said, that was their own style, and nobody ran behind them trying to do it because that was their own style. And people accepted it because they didn't sound like little children, and they had actual harmony to it. And that shit was gangster. That shit was gangster. I'm gonna have to put you down on it. Anyways, that's the headlines.